Today I have a tribute to the leading ladies from Ellen Hutson. Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper and I'm back to colour with you, and I've got some Ellen Hutson products here. These are some of the leading ladies sets, well, quite a few of them really, because I had a request to create a card. It was a very specific request, and it's about a motorhome and a woman and a man, and it's her birthday, and they had to be wearing tracksuits. They had to be in pink and blue, and we needed a monogram on the tracksuit. So I went through all my leading ladies sets, picked out a stack of them that I thought had little images, and then created this sketch. So let's see how I go. I chose to use obviously the leading gentleman because it's a boy and that's the only man leading lady stamp set. So I used him, and because I wanted him to be wearing a tracksuit, I needed to sort of remove the center of his shirt. So how I did that was stamp it on a post-it note and cut out that center portion to mask the middle of his shirt, and then I could just stamp him on a piece of Nina 80-pound cardstock. So it was a similar sort of process for the lady, but for her I needed to remove her t-shirt. I wanted it to be a long sleeve tracksuit because I don't know about you, but I haven't seen any short sleeve ones. Really? Maybe they do exist. But anyway, I did that for her as well, and then I could just come in with my Copic multi-liner and add some details. I did sketch the details in first with a pencil because I'm not too confident just to draw them straight in with my multi-liner. I know this is going to work perfectly with my Copic markers that I'm going to be doing my colouring with, and it's not going to bleed. I did stamp out all my other images while I was at it. I did just pick a stack of things that I thought would work really well with travelling, with a motorhome, with camping and holidaying, and I thought I could design it after I'd done all my colouring and had all my pieces and just choose what I wanted later on. So I added a few stripes because they always look cool on a tracksuit, and it kind of covered up where I'd done the extra sort of masking. And I will list all of the products that I did grab today over at my blog. There's like a total of 7 sets of leading ladies stamps that I use. I'm serious, 7, and they're coordinating dies. So there's a stack of products as well as other stuff as well. I'll get into that. I had to add, it was a really specific card that I had to create. So he had to be wearing a blue tracksuit. She had to be wearing a pink one. They had to be monogrammed with their initials. Their hair was a certain colour. It was awesome. Don't know about you, but when I make a card for someone by request, for me, it's so much easier to make the card if someone says they like this, they like that colour, they like this flower, they like sparkles. Oh, don't put any pink in that. It's just so much easier for me. The more specifics I have, the easier it is. Unless I don't have any stamps that suit. And then I can be in trouble. But today I thought the leading ladies set worked perfectly. And I wasn't really sure how I was going to go about the motorhome camper thing because I didn't have any stamps that sort of suited that. And that's when I came up with the looking through the front window of the motorhome idea. So I decided to channel my inner Sandy. Thank you very much, Sandy Allnock. And I will link her blog at my blog, and that'll be linked in the description below. She always has the most amazing backgrounds and scenes that she creates and colours with all kinds of mediums, but in particular her Copic colouring is amazing. Actually, all her colouring is amazing, but when she creates the scenes, and that's what I kind of focused on today. So hopefully it all works out, and I really do hope she likes this card. So of course this van needed a window looking out the back. That's really what's going to make it look like it's the inside of a van, I thought. And I've actually just drawn this with the pencil and made a, like, this is a little, I traced it, it's on some tracing paper, and making it a template. That's what I've done. And that way I know it's going to be about the right size to sit at the back of my van. So again, I've just come in with my Copic multi-liner and just drawn. This does not need to be a work of art. It's really simple Copic colouring and drawing. I just want it to be sort of, to give the impression. So nothing fancy here. I did just make some mountains, some grass, some sky, and a highway, because of course they're on the highway in their motorhome, which is where I would like to be. But I have a camper van. I don't have a motorhome. It's not going to be anywhere near as flash as a motorhome. Ours is a four-wheel drive camper, so it's probably a bit rougher than these guys will be camping. But it's all fun getting out in the outdoors and doing something different and enjoying life. This is another piece of cardstock. It's cut the same size as the front of my card. I've drawn the front window now, colouring it with some Copic greys. I think I chose the toners and added a slight bit of shading here, and then I decided to cut the centre out. Just easier to come in with my craft knife and a pair of scissors. And to get rid of the raw edges, I did use my Copic marker to colour that. I've got a piece of that oyster grey cardstock here, and I'm drawing an impression of the inside of the van. I've made a table and a couple of cupboards up above, and these are just going to be a suggestion of what's inside the van. There was nothing fancy. Then I traced my window that I created before with my, what's that stuff called? Vellum paper, and cut that out. And then I could just attach that to that background scene that I'd created before. I was going to add acetate, but I decided not to, and I'm not sure why in the end. I think it's because I couldn't really add acetate to the front window unless I created another cutout. So for me, it just seemed easier to have no acetate in the whole thing. But I could have easily done that. To create the monograms, I used the letterboard set from Ellen Hutson, one of my favourite little die sets. It's so sweet. And I added a space out steering wheel. It's from one of the planets. It's a circle that goes around the planet. That and some black cardstock. I just threw everything together, just added some adhesive and created my little scene. It wasn't difficult. Popped everything up together on the oyster card, added some ATG, lots of it because it's a little bit heavy, and adhered that to the front of a sidefold landscape card. I went into the little gentleman set and got a banner and added the small sayings, "Happy birthday to you." I thought it needed that. I was going to do like a flag thing with it. I just couldn't make it fit without looking busy, and I thought that worked. So I hope you enjoyed today's speed colouring video and something a little bit different. I look forward to seeing you here real soon. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up. If you haven't already, I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back real soon. Till then, happy paper crafting. Bye.